Monkey Island, what a game. Full of great puzzle solving, funny quips and hilarious incidental music. And now, it's in Sea of Thieves for everyone to enjoy. I think it goes without saying that the new Tall Tale is not only an amazing trip down memory lane for those of us who played the original games, but also an amazing Tall Tale in its own right, even if you have never heard of the Monkey Island franchise. In fact, one thing I have seen since this Tall Tale came out is people wanting to delve into the Monkey Island franchise because they simply want more. I think it's safe to say that Rare have knocked the ball out of the park where Melee Island is concerned. The town, the familiar faces, the voice actors, the ambience is all spot on, even giving us veterans of the franchise sit locations that pretty much line up perfectly with the scenes from the original game. The way the puzzles unlock and barrel roll into a finale of sorts perfectly complements the original playstyle of the point-and-click adventures, coupled with some hilarious dialogue and some familiar faces. Murray, without a doubt, stole the show, with some hilarious quotes, and completely upstaged the cursed captain as the king of the talking skulls. As a person who played all of the Monkey Island games on release, it was an actual moment to see all of these places in 3D and be able to poke around in places that were impossible to access in the original games. The music too was beautifully crafted and had its own little Robin Beanland & Co. Sea of Thieves flair to many of the tracks. The story, I will say though, was a little lacking. I mean, that's not surprising to be honest, as the original Monkey Island games were never really big on plot. It was more about the clue hunting rather than the storytelling. I mean, you can boil down the storyline of Monkey Island into one simple sentence. LeChuck evil, Guybrush doesn't like that. Oh wait. Huh. But the storyline basically revolved around this ginger-haired lady being annoyed at Guybrush, and she wants to go beat him up. And then the Pirate Lord shows up and is like, "Ah yes, Guybrush, good friend, know him well. A best friend in fact, ask anyone." Now for those of us who know who Captain Kate Capsize is, this is awesome, but for everyone else, just some random ginger woman. I know it's wrote about in the book, but a little vocal backstory would have been nice here. Also, might be worth noting for people who didn't make the connection, she's been in the Sea of Thieves before. Well, within the Sea of the Damned. She crashed her boat here. She is the one writing in the journals of this Easter egg in Sailor's Grave. LeChuck has essentially created a paradise for Guybrush, where everyone on the island adores him, and everyone drops their hat on a whim. Basically because this entire island is generated from Guybrush's memories, and because of the dreamer he is, he has generated the Melee Island of his dreams, where every single person who inhabits the place see him as a demigod of sorts, when in reality, everyone just thought he was a bit of an idiot. Because of this, LeChuck is able to keep him here, trapped in his own fantasy. Why would you ever want to leave when you have everything you have ever wanted? And of course, LeChuck reveals himself as the imposter. Yes, he was the green-eyed rat all along. But let's be honest, we kind of knew that was coming. Although the Tall Tale was a feast for the eyes and the soul, and was easily one of the longest Tall Tales we have ever had to complete, on average on your first playthrough about 2.5 hours, well, that's if you're not a complete idiot and used a walkthrough, when it was all over and done and you came out of that portal to the real world, it kind of felt like this. This is one of the main problems with Tall Tales. When they're done, they're done. Couple that with the fact that the Tall Tales often take you to these high-fidelity, fun-filled worlds where the effects, the graphics, and music are far superior to the main adventure world, and they often leave you feeling deflated for the sandbox of Sea of Thieves. The trailers for Monkey Island were also very misleading. Veterans of the franchise recognized a lot of faces in the trailer for the first Tall Tale, and were under the impression we'd meet everyone in this first sitting. However, we have only experienced this part of the map. The developers have revealed that in the next Tall Tale, it will take part on the rest of Melee Island. And the third Tall Tale will take part on Monkey Island, and have even showcased a glimpse of this area. But they also promised us side quests that went alongside these Tall Tales. I'm not sure what Rare thinks side quests are, but side quests are not commendations. Side quests are other quests parallel to the main storyline. For example, another town member asks you for help and sends you on a mini story outside of the main story arc. Not just sit in a place a few times. This was also a huge disappointment. Although Monkey Island has come out at a time where people feel very starved for content in the game, it's also reminded us that nothing has been learnt about Tall Tales. We need a reason to go back to them, and not just Tall Tales, but pretty much every single forgotten bit of content within the game. Special events centered around these things for a new fishing rod or adventures taking us back to pinnacle moments within the game are not a reason to go back, guys. Especially when these events only happen once every 4 months and can be completed faster than the original content. That's not focus. Tall Tales can be used for so many tools within the main game world, but they're always just locked behind commendations that can be done in one play session. And then they just sit there, taking up space and reminding us that they're forgotten. Why not have us go there for merchant quests or gold hoarder digs? I know you can't take loot with you through portals, but I'm sure there is a way this could be done. You don't have to go there looking for loot, you could go there looking for clues that leads you to other areas within the main game world. Just give us a reason to go back. The only reason I have to go back to Melee Island now, which possibly had a team of people working on it for the past 2 years day and night, is if I just want a bit of footage or some music. Seems like a colossal waste of time for something that will essentially be experienced 2 or 3 times and never touched again. I love the Tall Tale and I'm really excited about the other ones, do not get me wrong, but this is a live service game, not a single player adventure. The live service needs to be incorporated into every facet of the gameplay. Give us adventures in Melee Island, Sailor's Grave, the Shores of Gold. Use the content you so lovingly put together to give us a reason to go back. This repetition of forgetting lovingly crafted content that can be utilized in so many ways that will not only breathe life back into the unique areas, but also the core gameplay of the game is something that really needs to be focused on. You have the tools, so please use them. Stop forgetting your content. Thanks for watching, peeps. Before I go, I just want to shout out the wonderful people over at Apex Gaming PCs. They have been a sponsor for the channel and the hardware behind the channel's production for a long time now. They offer some great builds for people who haven't got the foggiest how to build a custom setup. You can either pick from a bespoke line that will tell you the sort of games you can play in HD, or you can do a little research of your own and craft your very own rig. Plus, if you use code Falcore at checkout, you can save some cash, and all links are down below. But until next time, calm seas and wind in your sails. Peace!